Hi there. Are you an artist, creative, or graphic designer looking to earn passive income beyond traditional print-on-demand sites? Well, I can help you do just that. My name is Anthony Zubia, a freelance designer and art director in Austin, Texas. I will show you how you can earn passive income off of Printful and where you can design your own products and integrate them with e-commerce platforms as well as other marketplaces. Let's get started. Hey everybody, and welcome to my third class. And thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you follow my channel. And so let's get into Printful. All right, the first thing you want to do is to create a free account, which is very easy to do. And some of the first steps you'd also follow up with is adding in your billing and adding in your stores. So let me explain more about Printful. They have a lot of good tutorials on how it works, but for some of the basics, so you set up your store. That's where your customers will buy your products. And then you pay Printful in order for them to create your product and print on it. And then they ship it out to your client and your customers, which is really easy and pretty awesome so that you don't have to have any stock on you at all. So, for example, when I opened an Etsy store, it was very easy to connect with Printful because someone would, this is a real life example that someone paid for one of my shirts, and with the shipping it cost about $28. Then when you have your billing set up for Printful, you pay the amount to create the item. So for example, it costs about $13 to create that shirt to get printed and shipped out. So the customer receives it, and then the profit I got was about $15, which is pretty good seeing how for other print on demand websites, I've gone it anywhere as least as a quarter of profit all the way up to, let's say, $5. Getting $15 of profit for a t-shirt sale, getting three times as much is pretty good. So I really like Printful, when it comes to print on demand. So you have to set up an online shop as well, and they have some, great options of what you can set up. So for example, Shopify, if you want the basic version, it costs $29 a month to set up. BigCommerce, $29.95 a month to have your online store. Big Cartel is pretty cool because let's say you only have 5 products, you can open, your free shop and don't have to pay anything a month. And then let's say as you get more products and more ideas, you can move up to, $9.99 a month to have 25 products, and then maybe move up to 20 a month. But the option that I like to use is Etsy. I have an Etsy shop, and the reason being is because it's so cheap to set up. So Etsy, it only costs 20 cents to have a product in your shop for 4 months. So it's only 5 cents a month to have your products in your shop, and it's pretty awesome. And so in the next two videos, what I'll be doing is I can show you how you can set up your design files, and then how you can add them to your Etsy store with the Printful and Etsy integration. Okay, so adding new products through Printful is pretty easy, and I'll walk you through it. So under your account, you would need to go to stores, and this is where you've added your online shops. So for example, I have my Etsy store right here, and they're pretty easy to add. As I mentioned before, Printful has a lot of helpful tutorials on how to connect your store, but I'd like to walk you through how to actually upload designs. So right here, you'll click Add, and then right here, As you can see, they have a lot of stuff that you can do. They got shirts, wall art, hats, mugs, tote bags, leggings, pillows, phone cases, socks, towels, dresses, and skirts. They got a lot of stuff on here. So t-shirts are kind of my thing, and so I've been able to sell a lot of those through various websites. So I'm just kind of keeping it basic right now. So the design that I mentioned before that I had earned about $15 on, um, I had used the second option, which it's a lot cheaper than the other ones because of the limited colors. So it happens to be a design that only looks good on a few colored shirts. So if you feel you have something like that, you can go with the cheaper one. But if you want some more options, I mean, look at this, they got a lot of good stuff on here. So you just click which shirt that you want, and they've even added in a feature where you can type your own text on the shirt. Coming soon, they have some clip art. You can design on the front, you can design on the back, or even if you have an outside label for your brand, which is pretty cool. And then right here is where you select the colors that you want for the shirts, as well as the sizes. Sometimes they'll say that they won't have certain sizes in stock, and so you can just deselect them. So what I'm going to do is upload a file. So this is one of the popular shirts that I have. I mentioned in my first Skillshare video that, I've been into hip hop music. And then now in this one, I've also been inspired by wrestling ever since I was a kid. And so I kind of like this shirt about The Rock being president ever since he announced stuff like that. It's pretty funny. Um, and so you can see the different options right here, which I'm going to deselect white because you can't read part of this. And the dimensions that I use are the same that I've done on my first Skillshare video about print on demand. I do 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels, and it tends to work across all of the sites. So you can choose which mock-up image you want to be featured on your shop. So I'll just stick with the black. So then it says proceed to the description. So they kind of give you the default info, which is really helpful on the type of shirt. But you can also add in description of what your design is about. But uh, you can actually just click proceed to pricing because you'll still be manually editing this stuff on your actual shop. All right, so here's where the pricing comes in. So by default, they have this shirt at $15, except for the biggest size. And so, I typically tend to price shirts at about $20. So I'll just do 19.99 and then just duplicate them all over. And then this last one will be 24.99. And so you'll be getting some good profit from these, which, you can change the price up as much as you want. You can make them cheaper, more expensive. Then if your shop has a section, you can add it here. And then when you click submit to store, it will start syncing this new item that you have into your online shop. And then when it finishes processing, it will say click here to edit in your store. For example, on mine it will say edit in Etsy, and you click there and it takes you directly to your Etsy store where you can start manually entering the descriptions for your new item. Okay, so after you add your product and click, to edit in your store, it will take you directly to your online shop. In this case, it's Etsy for me. And, I'm showing you this as an example of what I've done in the past with a shirt that I've sold. And so, when you come in to this page, everything's pretty much blank except for some of the default stuff that Printful has added in there. So this is where you add the photos, which are the mock-ups that we edited on the Printful page. You can adjust your thumbnail. You can zoom in and out on there to your liking. So for the title, it gets a little tricky because I've heard different things about Etsy that, you want to add as many tags as you can. And there's the character number here, of how many you can have, and then separating them by commas. I've also added in, I think by default it just says short sleeve unisex shirt, but I made sure to add, adult, men, women, unisex, so that it appeals to everybody. And what's helpful too is that Etsy automatically, like if it's a unisex shirt, this shirt will appear in two places, which is helpful because Etsy, has millions of buyers and customers in their marketplace. So, the more areas that your product lives on, the better, the easier it'll be seen. So right here, it's on men's clothing and women's clothing. So it says about this listing. So who made it? I did, that I designed it. It's a finished product made to order. So this is clothing, it's unisex, it's tops and tees, it's a t-shirt. So these are all the different categories and descriptions you can have. So for primary color, I offer more than one. You don't need to choose a secondary color. And so this shirt isn't a specific holiday or occasion, but it does help. Let's say if you have a Christmas shirt, you can put Christmas, or let's say, you have a wedding shirt or something for, bachelorette party, you can add it in there. For sizes, you can put I offer more than one size. So the renewal options are if, when the 4 months pass, it's asking if it should automatically charge you the 20 cents to relist it. But I just have manual, in case it's a shirt that wasn't selling and then it doesn't automatically charge me for it to re-upload. So this is a physical product as opposed to a digital file. So this is the default description about the actual shirt that Printful had added in, and then you can just add in your own description about what the shirt is about. And then right here, you would click that Printful is your production partner. You can add it in there, under your settings through Etsy. And Printful has a tutorial on how to do that as well. And then if you have a section for your shop, you can add it to a certain section. So the tags are where it gets a little tricky. You can add 13 tags in total. And so, I've kind of been hearing different things that, your tags should match kind of what you have in your title. While at the same time, you shouldn't really have just a keyword. It should say, for example, the rock shirt as opposed to just the rock. Uh, so I think, you need to get specific with it, but this is just from what I've learned. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right, because honestly, with Etsy, it's all trial and error. You gotta, try, fail, retry, and if you succeed, follow that same formula, and you should be able to make some sales. So you can edit the price, you know, which is pretty much added in from Printful, so you don't need to edit any of that. And has the quantity, which I think it starts you off at like 1,000 or something, so that it's technically unlimited because they'll print as much as people buy. What's awesome too about shipping is that Printful automatically has their own shipping rates. And so by default, it has the Printful garment, which is really cool because shipping can get complicated. So that's what's awesome about Printful is that they just take care of the stock, the printing, and the shipping. You don't need to worry about the item weight and size. So in my case, I have it on here as US and it has the cost that Printful had. Um, but yeah, with the tags, going back to it, another helpful website is called etsyrank.com. And so it kind of grades you on different things that you have. Um, for example, it says missing images because on mine, how I only have two different colors, so there's not as many images to add. And let's say if you have like a certain shirt about a character or something, it's going to take that as a misspelling. And some of the attributes you don't need, but what I like about this is that you can get keyword ideas and see what's trending, what's not, what's working. So it's a pretty helpful tool to kind of help you understand, how Etsy works with the keywords. So it gives you, recommendations, other things you can use, how frequent it's used, what people are looking for. So it's pretty cool. On the actual Etsy homepage, what's helpful too is, as we're heading to Christmas, you can also just click once on the search bar and it'll give you what's popular. So it might give you ideas of other things to come up with, other products to create. So that's kind of about it on, adding in your descriptions. It does take a little bit of time, especially because it's for one product. But the profit's a lot better than other print-on-demand sites. In other sites, you just upload one design, they can go on to, shirt, phone case, stickers, and all of that. But some of the profit is a little lower. But with this one, it just takes a little time to build. But I think it's totally worth it, and I hope this is helpful to all you guys. And hope you can earn some passive income from this. It's a lot of fun creating items and figuring out what sells and things like that. And so, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Make sure you follow me on Skillshare and check out, my previous classes. And make sure you visit zubicreative.com where you can contact me for design services. And you also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and all that stuff. And thanks again for watching my videos and tuning in. And in the for the class project, you can also take a screenshot of the new shop you just created and post a link so we can all support each other in our new marketplaces. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good one.